So if we recap yesterday's session, yesterday we have seen how to create the reprocessing of journals with HDFDA and with help of forging interface table concept, and how to load the bulk data if it is exceeds for CSV. Just we can use the text file in order to load the data from load interface file for import. Then after, just we are downloaded the customer entity, and we have seen what are the control files for the tables we do have, how the one sheet to another sheet will be having a joint conditions, nothing but we have seen the interrelationship between one sheet to another sheet. There is a primary keys and foreign keys concept should be there. Just we need to maintain the same concept for one sheet to another sheet in order to populate the data same as with TCA tables, right? So yesterday I asked about these junior guys, Yogesh and Shinde and this Priya. Can you give some TCA tables? Did you get any chance to go through these TCA tables in the Google?
Yes, sir. We have Googled that, and the parties type first. These are the tables.
Only two tables?
No, there are more table like party sites, party customer accounts, contact points, and party type organization.
Location.
Yeah.
What about
Sites and locations, party sites.
Relationships.
we need to tell the table names as a sequence, Shinde, like edged parties, edged party sites, edged parties.
Okay.
In between edged location. This is one set. The second set is edged customer accounts, edged customer account sites, edged customer account site users. This is one set.
What is mean by edges, sir?
Edged is nothing but a module name.
Okay.
It's a module name SZ.
It is mandatory to using edged before.
SZ. Yeah, exactly. For example, if you take another table, PO header solve, that's nothing but containing purchase order information, right? But PO is it's starting with PO, nothing but it's a purchase order, supply chain management module.
Okay.
Module presentation. Okay. Nothing but TCA, trading community architecture, nothing but customer
TCA is a data model.
data model. Exactly.
Yes, sir. Manage the all information.
Yes. Okay. So this is our transactional billing transactions. Here, create customer. First, we'll try to create the customer from UI. Then after, we'll try to see what are the prerequisites we are required for this FBA process. Then after, we'll try to populate the data into our sheet. So this is GP10 test customer 001 and account number, account description, something test customer, or you can use GP10 Dell customer, account type is external, account address set, you can use something anyone as of now. I will tell you, this is HYD site and you can use address in New York. Line 2 and this is New York. Just select something and the postal code is not required, it's not mandatory. And
if we have missed the sequence of the table, then
it won't populate the data.
Okay.
Always it should be maintain the data which is in a sequence, so that
these all tables are mandatory.
mandatory. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
We'll save this record, you will get to know what is the process. So this is address purposes, this you will see later. Now copy this customer name. Here we are saving as a record, creating the record which is customer type is organization. Organization is nothing but the customer. Person is nothing but a contact point. If you want to create anything, this is read as a contacts. Now you can it as an organization. Then customer address set, site name, two. Okay. Now just try to just copy and save and close. Okay. Now query with customer name here. You see here, I can see 3 tabs, 1, 2, and 3. So the first tab, hedged parties, hedged locations, hedged party sites. When you populate the data in your everyday sheet, for the first set of 3 tables, 4 tables, hedged parties, hedged locations, hedged party sites, then this table can be affected. You can see the data on this row. Okay. Now, when you populate hedged cust accounts, you can see the data for this second row. This is especially for hedged cust accounts. And this is hedged party site uses, hedged cust account sites, hedged cust account site uses. Then this table can be affected. This is one more set of table. Just try to open the site. So this is your site here. This is your site. For that site uses, address purposes, site uses nothing but whether it is built to or shipped to, sold to, whatever you want, just you can try to create here. So I'm trying to create, this is something built to. So whichever site is there, for the first site, I'm associating with the build to. Just try to save this. Save and close. Okay. Now this is your build to, which is the primary. Now here, if you see, just try to save and close again. You see here, there is an account address set for each site. When you try to create here party sites, nothing but customer account sites. You can see here, there is an account address set. Account address set is nothing but for which business unit you are trying to create for this customer account site. For which business unit you are trying to create your account site. This is the account address set is nothing but your business unit name. Here, especially for the customer account site, the business unit will be representative with help of, or we can call as a reference data set. This is we called as a reference data set. For reference data set, the functional people will associate a business unit. Okay. For a business unit, they will associate this reference data set. We can use this reference data set to our customer account sites. You can use a reference data set to customer account site. So what is a reference data set? A reference data set is nothing but a group of meaningful terminologies. We can associate it as a group or a set. For example, business units, payment terms, and yeah, as of now, we can see these two terminologies, which is known for us, right? Payment terms, net 30, net 40, net 45, these are payment terms. They will create as a reference data set. For example, if I want to use these payment terms for another business unit, no need to create your payment terms again and again. Simply, we can inherit this reference data set to another business unit. To reduce redundancy of work, this reference data set will come into picture. Okay. First, we'll see where we can create the reference data set, how this reference data set will associate it with the business units. So at last, you need to assign this reference data set to the user so that you will get an access for customer account sites. Okay, if you want to see the customer account sites information against your user, first you need to assign a reference data set to the user in the task manage data access set for users. Earlier, we have been added this data access set, right? Nothing but the ledger. If you want to get a ledger access, you need to add a data access set. The same way here also, if you want to get in a customer account site access, you need to add a reference data set. Okay. So here, just navigate to setup and maintenance. Just navigate to the global search. Here. Manage reference data set. This is manage reference data sets. Select the task, manage reference data sets. If you search with, just try to search, you will see all the values here. It's not possible to associate a business unit directly to the customer account. With help of reference data set, we can associate a business unit to the reference data set, and the reference data set will add to your customer account site while creating the customer account. So this is a common reference data set. Common set is nothing but it will refer all the business units. It will refer all the business unit. You can use this when referenced when you assign a common reference data set to the customer account. You can use that customer for any business unit. That is for common business unit customer for across all the business units. When you use this progress US job set reference data set to the customer account, then the customer account is belongs to for this only business unit. Okay, you cannot use for the same customer for US1 BU set. Moreover, when you use common data set, you can use that customer for any other business unit. This is not exactly a business unit name. This reference data set will associate it with the business unit. So how they are associated business unit is nothing but just try to cancel it. Just click on the done. Here, just try to search with manage business unit. Instead of global search, you can search in a setup and maintenance offering section. Here, manage business unit set assignment or set. We'll see which task is exact. So this is manage business unit assignment. complete a pure functional task. Okay, just you need to get the information, or you need to know the information how these. Okay, the manage business unit set assignments. This is my business unit. Now the business unit scope is something AMG BU1. For this business unit, if you see, these are all the reference data sets. You see, for apply hold reasons, there is a reference data set. There is a cancellation reason, there is a reference data set. There is a claim reason, there is a reference data set. The way here, if you see, customer account sites. This is a customer account site. If you see the customer account site, it is associated with the business unit common reference data set. So when you change this common reference data set, we do not have any privilege to change. Okay, this is customer account site. Here, instead of common, you can see here, these many reference data sets would be created in this instance. So I'm trying to add this customer account site is belongs to something Canada business unit set. This is I'm associating with which is reference data set, Canada BU set, and save and close. Now, when you try to create a customer, with a customer account site, and when you try to add a account address set here, this is account address set. When you add Canada BU set, nothing but this is belongs to this business unit. The customer is belongs to Canada business unit, and this customer you cannot use for another business unit. That is the significance of reference data set. When you use a common reference data set, instead of Canada business unit set, if it is associated with common business unit, common reference data set.
So Vijay, in real world, like we use only common, right? Or...
It depends on business. Mostly it will set it as a business unit wise.
Okay.
If you have multiple business unit, they will come up with approach common business unit. If you have one or two business unit, obviously they will create, they will associate it with a reference data set only with a business unit name. Now it is associated with common business unit. Nothing but this customer you can use for any business unit. So here this is a scope AMG business unit 1. Here you can change a scope here. Here just try to click on the scope. Here business unit. You can associate it whichever business unit you want. Just select and add and try to change your reference data set. And the reference data set you can assign to the user, so that user will get an access to add the reference data set against your customer. Just apply and go task. So these are the business units here. If you want to
but Vijay, this is a global setup, right?
Yes, exactly.
So okay. And the same applies for supplier sites as well? Or?
No, suppliers are different. This is for only customers. These are reference data set especially will come into picture for customer related things.
Okay.
All the customer related entities. Now, manage data access set for users. So here, just try to click on the new. Here, tech leads IT. Tech leads IT. The role here you can add account receivables manager. This is account receivables manager role. Since this is AR application role, and when you add this role, again this role, you can see the context values here. So business unit and the reference data set. So when you add a business unit is nothing but when you try to create a transaction, when you try to create ER transaction, you will get an access for business unit. And when you add a business unit, only you will get as a only business unit access, not the customer site access. If you want to still get a customer site access, then you need to add a reference data set. For example, this is Canada. This is Canada business unit. Okay. Now just try to create one more ad. This is leads. From the receivables manager. Now reference data set. Now search with Canada business unit reference data set. This is Canada BU set. Now here, just keep the screen the same here. Here, just click on the done. We'll try to open the AR transaction screen once so that you will get a clear idea. This is customer screen, right? Now we'll try to open the create transaction screen. This is the billing. So whichever you are trying to create the customers, for that customers, we are trying to create a transaction. This is a transaction. Just click on the create transaction. So here, when you add a business unit access from manage data access set for users with account receivables manager role, you will get an access for these business units. You will get an access for these business units to create a transaction. But when you add a business unit here, Canada is not there. Not there. Since when you save the work, you will get an access here. Okay, business unit. So here there is a customer section is there. Here, bill to name, bill to site, ship to name, ship to site. These customer information you will get when you add a reference data set to your user. When you add a reference data set to the user, then only you will be able to see the values against your LOB. Otherwise, this keeps blank. Okay, just try to save and close.
So Vijay, if we ask like, I mean, when we assign that reference data set, that means the user can create sites only for Canada business
Yes,
units, right?
exactly.
Okay.
No. When you add this reference data set to the customers, then user can create the sites for only Canada's business unit. Okay. When you use an account address set,
Yeah, that is a bit confusing actually, because we
yeah,
have given business
that,
unit and then reference data set as well. So
yeah, this is for only business unit access. Here you will get. For example,
yeah.
for example, here China business unit. I am selected China business unit. I am trying to fill the data, transaction source, transaction type, and everything. Now I need to get a customers for China business unit right here. So
Yeah.
we get a China business unit customers here with help of reference data set. You need to add reference data set to the user, which is China reference data set, so that you will be able to see the reference data set users, your customers here.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. But that reference data set can have access to multiple business units, right? So
Reference data set can access to multiple business units. No, here we have only two options. One is a common reference data set. One is business unit name.
okay.
Either you have two codes only. One is common code. Common code is nothing, but that customer will eligible for all the business unit.
Okay.
When you use when the business unit associated with a specific reference data set code, then the customer will eligible, or the customer you can create for that specific business unit only. It's not for common.
Okay.
Got it? Yeah.
So Vijay, is it like a security profile in
Yeah.
our
Exactly. Same as profile, you can correlate.
So reference data set I can correlate as a security profile,
Security
and
profile.
business unit is like operating unit.
Operating unit, exactly.
Profile option on the responsibility.
Yes.
Okay.
Create customer. Now, did we add it? Okay, already we are added here. Let's create a customer here. Then China customer 001 and site name China site and address purposes. Something bill to is mandatory, and account address set, nothing but this is your reference data set. Just try to search it with China data set. This is China business unit set. Click on OK and save and close. Now we are trying to create a customer for only China business unit set. This customer is eligible to create the transaction for only China business unit, but this customer is not eligible to create a transaction for all the business units. Okay, when you associated this account address, it is a common instead of China business unit. If it is associated with a common, then this customer site will eligible to use for all the business units. Now try to create a transaction here. Create a transaction. This is China. Now you will see the China business unit access. Since we are added a business unit against manage data access set. Now if you see the bill to name, something account number, what is this account number? 54119. One of the mandatory. Not provide account name here. This is GP10 China. In case we need to run synchronized jobs. Sorry. Again, this business unit, for this business unit, for the managed, for your managed business unit assignment level, you need to associate it with your China business unit reference data set. I guess it seems to be added with a common reference data set. By default, it is common reference data set. If it is differentiated with your specific business unit, then you will see the business unit values here. Right? Did you remember, right? If you open that manage business unit access screen, there customer site access. Instead of common, you need to differentiate with China reference data set code, so that you are able to see the reference data set values here. Otherwise, you can see the common values here, common customers. This is all about reference data set. No need to bother about how the setup will be done and everything in the real time. Just you can add the reference data set against your business unit in the real time. Even though this access also will provide your functional team. This is completely managed by your functional team. You will get an access for which business unit and which reference data set you need. Just you need to request to the functional team. Functional team will provide an access for you. Okay. It's very time consuming process and it's more functional task. Okay, now our template. Before going to the template, here, let's create customer. There is a manage data import section would be available in the created customer section in order to create the batch ID. This customer import template. Billing. Here, manage data import in the customer section. Just select the task manage data import. Here, try to create a batch. Here, test batch 001. The source system, you can use a comma separated values, which is a common one. We do have, yeah, this is comma separated values, a default one. If you want to use any source system value, just you need to create a source system. There is a manage source system task is there. In the task, you need to create this code so that you can see LOV value here. By default, you will get comma separated values. In the real time also, we will use this CSV. Comma separated values code is nothing but CSV we will use in our spreadsheet. Here object, customer and consumer, you can select, just try to save and close. It will generate a batch ID for us. This is a batch ID. This is the batch ID. Just copy the batch ID. My batch ID. And when you open the batch ID here, now the status is active here. Just try to open the batch. Here you can see the complete statistics of your customer import run. You can find the complete statistics of your customer import. How many records you are used in your everyday template, how many records with an errors, and what is total successful imported to base tables. You can see the count at the header level, and here the line level, the supported entity. You can see all your 18 entity tables here. Ledger parties, how many records are there in everyday template, how many are insert, how many are an update, how many are errors, how many are imported, and how many are warning states. The way you can find the complete statistics here, the count wise for each entity, and when there is a report is available here. When you click on the report, in the report you can find in detail error details for each entity. Here entity is nothing but party, party sites, party site users, and locations and all. For each entity, you can find the report, a consolidated report in your, when you click on the report, it will generate report in the HTML or in the PDF formats. Okay. Now we'll try to populate the data. Before populate the data, first you need to clean this sheet, right? This is try to remove all the data. Just delete the data, everything, and keep the plain sheet with a backup, because sometimes this sheet can be corrupted. When you are multiple times, when you're trying to generate CSV file in a zip format, sometimes the sheet will be corrupted since it is a macro enabled sheet. The reason this is a lengthy of sheet, right? 18 sheets. So please maintain a backup when you empty this sheet, so that you can use anytime if the sheet is corrupted. Otherwise, again, you need to delete this complete data for all 18 tables or 18 sheets. Okay, now this sheet become empty. Okay. Just click on OK and copy as a empty. Empty, which is that. Now you can populate the data. So I'm trying to create a customer with the first section. Do we have a customer screen here? Manage customers.
I have one question here.
Yeah.
So in real time scenario, suppose we have 100,000 records. Okay. And so we as a technical person will insert the records into the spreadsheet or someone else will insert.
That is, if it
For now,
if it is EBS, it's our technical job in order to extract the data from the Ortable database. If it is not an on-premise system or non-ERP system, then it's a customer headache.
okay, in EBS also, so is there any way to convert the data into this FPDI format?
Prepare an SQL statements.
That's a comma separated value, right?
Yes, yes.
But indirectly it is creating the comma separated value. Okay.
No, not comma separated value. For example, here, this is edged parties, right?
Yeah. So
where already we are getting from Fusion application. Just
got it.
party version system always CSV. Party version system reference is one of the primary key for this sheet, right?
Right. Yes.
Extract the data from same hedged parties table from your database. So in the Ortable database, hedged parties, what is the primary key?
For hedged party ID.
Party ID. Now you need to populate the party ID here straight away.
So
party insert update indicator is I. Party type is organization. Just output the value. You need to get the value which is just party name here, organization name from hedged parties table.
Got it. Based on
data
this,
and copy paste here. Extract copy paste here.
Oh, means we have to extract the data from EBS and we have to copy paste here?
Yes, copy paste here. Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Have 7 entities. You need to prepare 7 SQL statements and you need to copy paste the data from one entity to another entity.
Okay, and suppose we have to get it from the legacy system like mainframe.
Legacy system, then client will provide you all the entities data in a simple Excel sheets. They will not provide
okay.
This is somewhat complex process. They will straight away, whichever columns are required, whichever, for example, here batch identifier, party version system, insert update indicator, party type. These are hard, right? Client will not take care of these values. Client will provide you.
End of the day, we have to fill this spreadsheet.
For these edged parties, you need only party ID and party name. Simply they provide these two information for you in a simple Excel sheet.
Okay, but this is a cumbersome job, right? Suppose this is 100,000 records, and one by one we have to take care of each record.
The batch identifier would be across. Batch identifier would be same across all the records, right? Just in
that is the common for all.
Common thing. Only common things client will be ignored. The rest of things will be provided. Don't bother.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
So this is my customer. We'll try to replicate the same here. So this is your hedged parties, hedged party sites, and hedged locations, the first table. Now we'll try to replicate the same in our everyday template. So here, this is parties, right? Batch identifier. So this is my batch identifier. Just copy paste. And the party version system, while creating the batch, we are using batch source is nothing but comma separated values. Whichever source we have been used while creating the batch, the same value you need to populate for party virginal system. Nothing but the virginal system value across all the sheets is your batch source system value. In our case, this is CSV. The party version system reference, this is one of the primary key, something GP10001 underscore P. Underscore P is nothing but for my representation, I am assuming this is a party. Okay. The party sites, I can use the same key, which is PS, party sites. The way I am just segregating primary keys for one sheet to another sheet. Insert update indicator, very first time we are inserting records, which is insert mode. Party type is organization. Customer name, GP10 customer 002. This is my party information. Try to save this. And party sites. So I'm going to the party sites. Since I require this party information, copy the same. Here party version system reference. This is the foreign key and CSV and batch identifier. My batch identifier and party site version system again CSV. And this is just again copy the same. Sorry. This is the primary key of this sheet. I'm trying to differentiate with the PS party site. Again, a unique value this is. And we need a location version system reference. Version system always CSV. This value we will get from our location sheet. Insert update indicator is insert mode. Party site name something site 001. Party site number is not required. Party site from date. This is YYYMMDD something 2021 07 by 09. This custom format. Format and identifying address. Yes, we have address for this location. This address will fulfill the same. Okay. This is enough for party sites. Now, locations information right here. We'll try to populate the location information. Locations. Batch identifier. And this is location version system CSV, which is primary key here, GP10 001 location. And insert update indicator is I. Now you can get this values from UI. Here, just try to edit the same. Here, country value, United States, which is US, address line 1, something, line 2, and what city, this is city and state is KS. City and state is KS and county, something Wilson. This is county. So this is enough. This is country, address line 1, line 2, city, state, and county. So this is the address is mandatory for US location, for US country. Okay. Now, copy this location primary key. This will act as a foreign key in your party sites. This is my location version system reference. Okay. Now we are populated parties, party sites, and the location, which is the first record here. First row from your UI. So it will populate the data in this table. Now, before that, any doubts here for data population? Anyone? Parties, party sites, and the location for the data perspective. Primary keys and foreign keys concept. It's clear for everyone?
Sir, that primary key and foreign key, please repeat once.
This is here. Party version system reference. I'm trying to provide one unique value. That unique value I am segregating or differentiate with a P is nothing but, in my assumption, P is nothing but party. This is a unique value. Okay. The same unique value from your parties sheet will act as a foreign key in your party sites sheet. Party version system reference. Here also party version system reference. You can use this value same as in your party sites. And for this sheet, we do have the primary key. In this sheet, party site sheet, the primary key I'm assuming PS, nothing but a unique value party sites. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, just click on generate and CSV file. Just click on the save. CSV and zip file have been created. Just click on OK. Now this is your AR customer zip file. Just try to unzip it. AR customer import. Here we are populated into 2 sheets. Now you are getting the data which is 3 sheets, which is .csv format, which are parties, locations, and party sites, which is a comma separated. And for each end line, it will, by default, it will populate at end of the line for each record. This is end and this is end. Okay, which is comma separated sheet. Okay, now it's time to import this data to the application. So what is the first step? What is the first ESA job?
Load interface.
Tools and schedule process. Load interface only. The full name?
Data import.
Data import. For data import.
Load interface file for import. Do not copy this file on your desktop. Okay. When you copy this FBDI file on your desktop and try to generate this CSV file, it will corrupt your sheet. Okay. Do not copy these FBDI files on your desktop. Always try to keep maintain these files in your drives only. Okay. Do not maintain on the desktop. You will keep on getting errors. You will get succeed, but keep on it will getting errors. Import process. Import trading community data in bulk, which is our your process name. Import trading community data in bulk. In the data file, just to select whichever is generated as a zip file. Choose the file, and this is our zip file. So no need to verify your interface table, since we are generating this data with help of batch ID. Always it will require a new batch for each iteration. If it is failure, or if you want to reprocess, okay, or if you want to update the data, for every iteration, it will require the batch ID. So we are segregating the data with help of the batch ID. The reason you don't bother about your interface tables. Okay. Whereas GL interface, we are getting the data with help of group ID, right? If you want to, again, there also, if you want to keep on going for different group ID, no need to bother about GL interface table data. Now, how many load file interface will be submitted here? 3 ESA jobs. Since we do have 3 CSV files, nothing but 3 interface tables. Okay, now this become all succeeded. Now it's time to submit the main import process, which is import bulk customers. This is your main import process name, import bulk customers. Import bulk customer data, job to automatically import customer objects and related entities into the registry is nothing but TCA registry. So here we do have the parameter, which is the batch ID is the parameter. Copy the batch ID. So when you're working this customer import, this is something, time consuming process. Okay. Be patient when you're working this process, especially. This is a batch ID. You need to provide the batch ID is mandatory and try to submit the data. So what it will do, it will pick the data against your batch ID from your interface table and process the same. It will validate the data. Post validation, it will insert the data into your base tables. Okay. The same way here also you can find, now the program is running in the background. So you see here, party site users, right? Here you can find account address set. You have at account site level, we do have address set. At the site level, you can see here account address set, nothing but your reference data set you need to provide here. At the account site level and site users level, both level you need to populate this account address set. This is account address purpose set, which is reference data set. Now, just to verify your batch here, there is a batch. It's close by. Receivables billing. And manage data import. Now the batch status is processing. Earlier, the batch status very first time it should be an active status. Now it is updated with the processing. The total record is 3. Just open the batch. Now the total records is 3 and the total records with error 0 and total imported 0. Still it is processing. Now if you see here, these are all your entities. So if you see here, our party, this is party record and location record 1 inserted and party is 1 inserted and party site is inserted. Now it is validating the data here. If you see, total records is 1 is inserted and 1 is inserted successfully. Let's see. Just refresh it. Total is successful imported 3. There is no errors. If it is errors, it will provide an error here. Again, you need to correct the data, generate a new batch ID and populate the batch ID across all the sheets and generate the CSV file for the reprocess. Okay. Now this is successfully imported. Now you can verify your data. In the same way here, this is report. When you click on the report, since we do not have any errors, so the report is become empty here. Now there is no report errors here. Here also you can find the statistics. Total records in batch 3, inserted 3 and imported 3. The same here also you can find. Just try to search with your customer. Manage customers, which is GP. This is your third customer 002, which we are inserted from a BDA template. For this customer, when you select here, there is no accounts, there is no sites. Just we are imported only edged parties, edged locations, and edged party sites. When you populate customer account information, you will get a customer account information. When you populate sites, you can get sites information here. This is the sequence you need to follow while populating the data. In the real time, mostly we can use these edged parties, party sites, the locations, accounts, and party site users, account site users, and the profiles. These 3 plus 3, 7, 3 plus 3, 6, 7, 8 tables would be common for all the clients. And the contacts, contact points, relationships, if the client required, that is more complex process in order to populate the data for these relationships. Okay, you need to follow how Oracle is populating these contacts point. Just follow the same and try to populate the data in your everyday sheets. Okay.
So like Vijay, we can populate one logical set of data using the VDI. We don't need to do all the 18 sheets, right?
Logical set of data means?
Means like now, right now we populated the customer site location, the party's location and party site. So that was one logical set that was required to 3 tables. So like that we can just populate whatever is required, not necessarily.
No, not whatever is required. For example, here you are trying to populate account information here, just customer account information. Before that, you need parties information, right?
Yeah, so that becomes logically related. I'm
Yes,
sorry
yeah.
for using the statement, but whatever is related information, set of related information,
Yes, exactly.
can be done, right?
Yes, you can populate a set of related information at a time and populate the data into the tables. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see the rest of the accounts and sites. We'll try to see, and we'll see one reprocess scenario with an update mode. Yeah, that's it for today. Any doubts, any clarifications?